Hello, and welcome back to the Sezix channel, our Kerbal Let's Play thingy. Uh, so, because of a slight problem, I'm having to do this post-commentary. The problem was, I was a giant idiot and decided it would be a brilliant idea to put my microphone on mute during this. So, as you can see, right here was the ship we had last time, which we tried to take into orbit, and didn't quite work. It was kind of an amateur mistake, but I worked on it, and coming up now is the new and improved version. So yeah, I'm trying to use a different program to record this, by the way. I don't know if it'll work. I also have to cut out the launch thing, because Fraps just doesn't agree with it. If it goes onto a load screen on Kerbal, then Fraps just says, no, I'm not doing that, and closes both the programs. So here is the new rocket. As you can see, it's got solid rocket boosters on the side. Solid rocket boosters, the difference is, they're good for a speed boost, but they're not really controllable. You can't turn them off until they run out of fuel. And then when they run out of fuel, you can't use them and you just have to fling them off, so that's why I'm using those decouplers. There's also larger external liquid fuel tanks and a larger interior fuel tank. As you can see, my mouse is currently pointing. I have no idea what I'm doing at this moment in time. I promise next time to do live commentary, because I actually thought my commentary wasn't that bad this time. I'm actually kind of gutted that I accidentally turned it off. My microphone was on mute. I can remember it was causing my headset problems, so I muted it. It seemed to fit. And the headsets, I'm using a different headset now. Okay. So before we get started, I just want to state I don't want to be doing this as a tutorial anymore, because I don't really like doing a tutorial. I don't enjoy it. I'd rather just do things and have people enjoy. So here I'm just doing a bunch of random stuff. I really don't know what I'm doing, and I'm picking my flag, and we are going for the flag of China, but I don't seem to be able to find it right now. By the way, if anyone has a problem with me building rockets before recording, just say and I'll build them live, but I just find building them live boring. So we went for the flag of China this time. Don't really know why, we weren't getting out anywhere to do anything, and I believe the pause in the recording is, yeah. So here we are. Back to the launch pad. I would do a countdown, I did do a countdown, but I won't be able to this time, because somebody decided I would put my microphone on mute. I really feel stupid right now. But anyway, I imagine we're about to take off now. 3, 2, oh. I was 1, 2, 3 seconds off. That's survivable, I guess. During my commentary, I didn't actually notice these tanks ran out, so I might be able to commentate accurately on that. But the mission is, this time, is to actually get into orbit. And how are we going to do that? I have absolutely no idea. I was a bit, curious as to if this thing would be able to get back from orbit. I'll leave that to the end. But, yeah, and we get some pretty neat re-entry effects. I just spoiled it, why did I say that? Okay, we do make it back, but we try to aim for the Kerbal Space Center, and as you can see, the solid rocket boosters just ran out, so we jettison those. The external tanks still have a little bit of fuel, so we're going to carry on burning. They actually run out while we're on the map right here. We're going for an equatorial orbit. I think that's what you call it. Silly me, I forgot to jettison the tanks beforehand. And, yeah, I'm going to go for an equator orbit, and just, I don't know, do some space stuff. I also should mention I forgot to put the solar panels on these. Reason being, I just don't account for solar panels anymore. I don't like them. And, I have an engine which produces electricity when it's burning fuel anyway, so it's all good. Also, yeah, the main reason I don't use solar panels, or forget them half the time, is because I'm just not used to using them. And the reason for that is, you know, before the update, the Torque never used to use, like, aiming, or moving your ship in a different direction never used to use electrical charge, and I'm still not used to that, so nowadays you actually have to put solar panels on, otherwise the electric runs out, and then you can't move your ship, you can't turn on your engine to produce more electricity, and it just becomes a nightmare. But the solution I use here is I just find myself turning the SAS off when I'm not needing it. So here, I just turned off the engine, taking a look inside this cockpit with next to no view, and we're going to wait till we hit our apoapsis even, which is a couple of hundred, well, it's like about 120 if I remember rightly. I'm watching a low resolution version while I'm commentating this, I'm very sorry. But yeah, it's above 100 kilometers, quite a bit. We're going to wait till we get to apoapsis, and then we are going to burn and circularize our orbit. Now, when you circularize your orbit the first time, it often ends up very unequal. Like, you'll get your apoapsis, or your highest point, will be something like 150 kilometers, and your periaps could be something like 70 kilometers. And continually burning doesn't really change that, because then your apoapsis is just going to move to the other side and keep growing, while your periapsis just remains, will go to exactly where you are. So we're at like 140 right now. Our periaps would be 140 kilometers, and our apoaps would just keep on going. So yeah, it's fidgety to get a equal orbit, but it's worth it, I guess. I generally never go for a fully equal orbit. I always end up, you know, the orbit will be unequal by about 1 kilometer or so. So here you can see I have a complete orbit. Both my apoapsis and my periapsis are completely out of the atmosphere. I believe my periapsis is about 90 kilometers. Again, watching a low resolution Windows Movie Maker version, so it doesn't really help with the numbers. Yeah. So what we're going to do now is we're going to just have a little look around, and I believe we're going on a little EVA sometime soon, while I just continue looking at the things. Oh, no, we're not going on EVA actually. Not yet. We're just going to zoom around the planet at around 2 kilometers per second. I think I might actually be going higher than that, but when the orbit is circularized, we do travel at about 2 kilometers per second, which is quite fancy. So we're going to our apoaps now, and we're going to attempt to just level this orbit out a little bit. Turning now to our prograde, and we should begin burning, and yes we do. Now it's just a matter of, I horribly overshot that, and I believe the orbits are off by quite a few kilometers. It doesn't really matter, you know, like 10 kilometers or so, but I don't like it. I usually have mine within either a few hundred meters or around under 5 kilometers. It just makes things easier, especially if you're trying to dock with something, or you're building a space station, because it keeps it at like a relatively similar altitude, and it just makes things easier for everyone. And here is about as equal as we're going to get. I can't see the numbers, which is kind of disappointing. But yeah. Just going to continue looking around. Jebediah is now in orbit, and he is the first person to ever be in orbit. Whether he makes it back safely or not, well, that's up for time to determine. Now we're just drifting around the planet, or orbiting around the planet at 2 kilometers per second, over the desert, which was quite a nice touch, I think, because in the olden days the entire planet used to be green. They didn't even have ice caps. So yeah, I'm trying to access my messenger. Hang on. I can't be bothered. Oh god, what did I do? Oh right, I appear to have shut off the recording. Hang on. Shooby-dooby-doop. My bad. Okay, we are on like 10:05. Go to 10:10. So, wait. Hang on. Yeah, those were very, very boring days. Okay. Just continue zipping around the planet now. I have absolutely no idea why my guy's doing it. And I think now is the time to go on a little EVA. There's a bit of a lag spike here for some reason. Top fuel tank is completely out, and I think I have enough fuel to get home. But yeah, this is zipping across, 2 kilometers a second, and I believe we're waiting to begin burning to go home. But right now we're flying over this huge crater, which I think might have been caused by an asteroid. If not, then I don't know, maybe Jeb tried to make a bomb or something, and it just went pear-shaped. So yeah, here we are. So waiting to see what I'm going to do next. Yeah, I believe now we're just sort of like having a look. We're going to try and land back at the Kerbal Space Center, which if you look to the... it's gone now. But anyway, if you look to the right... Yeah, here it is. If you look to like the right side of the place, it looks like Africa. There's a small little sand bit, and I'm beginning to burn retrograde, lose velocity, and hopefully deorbit. I'm just going to keep on trying to aim that right. I don't want to overshoot it, because I got to compensate for atmospheric drag. Because atmospheric drag is going to... Basically, this blue line is where I'm going to end up. But because Kerbin has an atmosphere, the atmosphere is going to slow me down quite a bit, and possibly it's going to basically reduce how far I'm going to travel. I'm going to go down from about 2 kilometers a second to about 500 meters in about 10 seconds. Extreme G-forces. And it also looks like we'll be doing it nighttime, so that's some nice re-entry effects, I guess. So yeah, we're just trying to move around the nav pool, try and find a good spot, roughly in between the prograde and retrograde, to move our line of travel up. And now I'm going to turn prograde again, and just give myself a little bit more distance, just to try and make sure I don't end up landing you know, in the middle of Africa, because that's not good. But if we do land in the middle of Africa, no, I'm saying if, I already know the outcome. But if we do land in the middle of Africa, I could always just build a space plane and try to execute a rescue mission. So, yep, here we go. We're just burning forward slightly, and I believe we've burnt out all I believe I wanted to. And we are just going to detach now. And there we go. Jebediah Kerbin just smiling as always. Seriously, that man could stand right next to an atomic bomb and he'd still be smiling. Flying over the desert now, over Kerbal, Africa. And here we go. We are in the upper atmosphere here, and I think right now I realised I horribly undercompensated. You can't really see all that much because it's a nighttime landing, but still it should make the re-entry effect look all the more pretty. We are physical time warping, which, as I stated in the last video, yeah, we're gonna land in the middle of Africa. As I stated in the last video, physical time warp has a lot of bugs, and also, look at here, this re-entry. It's quite nice. As you can see, we're decelerating rapidly as we go through the upper atmosphere, entering the lower atmosphere. That heat, we won't be travelling fast enough for those re-entry effects to carry on. So we will end up just having, I don't even know what it is, like suspicious clouds of vapour, or streams of vapour passing over the craft, as you'll be able to see soon, briefly. I think that's them here. Yes, that's them here. All 2 pixels I'm seeing right now. I probably could count the amount of pixels on the version of this video I'm watching. That's how low quality it is. I'm just gonna try it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm guessing there's about not that many. Okay, everything looks a bit Minecrafty for me. But still, here we are coming into land, trying to figure out where the ground is. I believe I hit my parachute in an emergency, thinking I'm right next to the ground. Because I have the feeling I'm going to crash. I know it says I'm like 2 kilometers, but the land is already like above a kilometer, and I think here I panic and realize, oh dear, that's the ground, and immediately deploy my parachute. Yep. Yes, this would definitely be the part, yeah. And I think I hit about 10 or 15 Gs there, so Jeb just probably felt like he had an elephant sitting on his chest for a brief second there. I can't imagine that being too nice. Drifting down, 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 down. And eventually hitting the ground gently at about 6 meters per second. Pop! And we are on the ground, and Jebediah Kerbin is now the first Kerbal to ever make it into orbit and return safely. Albeit in the middle of Africa. If it was real life, he'd probably be eaten by the lions or attacked by militia or something. But as for Kerbal, it appears it has a population of about 100 who all live in one little space center. There's no cities or anything, which is kind of strange. So yeah, tune in next time, because next time we are going to do a mission to rescue Jebediah. It'll be a bit of a spin-off. This time we'll be using the planes. The space planes, but we won't be using a space plane. We'll be using atmospheric planes. And hopefully rescue Jebediah, who is about, I believe, 100 kilometers from the space center, so he's certainly not gonna walk. This is Zezzy, and thank you for watching. Cheerio.